right, little baby. Okay, we're down here with puppy Ralph for our week 1 video recap. In these videos, we're going to go through all the behaviors that we've been practicing with your puppy over the last week so that you can see their progress and everything that they've been learning. Get it, Ralph? We're starting first with a little bit of play though with the flirt pole. We want to get these puppies comfortable with the training space, and throughout the session we'll kind of go back and forth between a little bit of play and some training with the food. Okay, so in your initial confirmation email there's a bunch of links in there. One of them will take you to the Stay and Train webpage that has a bunch of resources, including the video library. I'm going to encourage you that once you're done watching Ralph's recap video that you go and check out the videos in the video library for week 1. Those videos are going to go into some more detailed instructions on how we train the behaviors and why. I'm certainly going to, kind of explain what I'm doing as we go through everything with Ralph, but those will go into more detail. I just don't have time to do it in our little recap videos for every single puppy, right? So I made that video library for you so you have that nice resource of everything being explained right there for you. So definitely check that out, okay? There's also some other resources on there, like some handouts and how to book your Zoom lesson and everything else, okay? So make sure you check that out. All right, Ralph, you ready to get started, buddy? We had our little play session here. Ooh, I got that toy from you. Yeah, we'll play again in a second. Okay, and I'm gonna grab some cookies and get our clicker, and let's move right into it. So the very first thing that we teach our puppies in week 1, oh, sorry, buddy. These guys are so small, always under your feet, is what the clicker means. So again, there's a video for this in your video library where I go into more detail, but basically, we want to teach the puppies that the sound of the click means that food is coming, okay? So click the clicker, hand the puppy a treat, and we're going to do this a few times in a row. And I'll usually do this with baby puppies or brand new dogs for the first couple of weeks. I would encourage you to do it for the first week that your puppy comes home, just sort of prime them for the training session, okay? So now that we've charged the clicker, we're going to move into our first behavior where we use the clicker to teach behavior. And this is going to be following a food lure. Okay, so I've got a piece of food in my flat palm, and I'm going to hold the cookie underneath my thumb, just like this. That way, I avoid holding the food like this, which encourages the dog to bite your fingers. I want to teach the puppy that when they take food from my hand, they should be gentle. And we can do that by how we present the food, which is just like this, flat palm. And then I don't know if you can kind of see that he is licking the cookie in my hand, right? Now I'm going to move my hand. He stays connected. I click, and I just release the cookie by moving my thumb out of the way, okay? All right, Ralph, let's try that again. Cookie under my thumb, flat palm. I get him connected. We move together. Mark, release the cookie. Good job, Bobs. So again, this is teaching the dog how to follow food in my hand, which we're going to use for teaching other behaviors. We want him connected. It's also teaching him to take food gently from my hand. Okay, one more time. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pair this behavior with his name. Ralph. Good job. Okay, so now in addition to all those other things that I just explained, we're teaching Ralph what his name is. Super important, right? Ralph. Good job, Bubby. Let's do one more. Ralph. Amazing. Good job, Bubs. Okay, so those are the first 3 foundation behaviors that I teach every puppy or any new dog to training. Charging the clicker, following the food lure, pairing it with their name. Where's your toy? You want to play or you just want more snacks, huh? Yeah. Get your toy. You want pets? Are you a snuggly boy? Good boy. Get it, get it, get it. Get it. At home, you can pick 2 or 3 behaviors, work on those things, and then maybe later in the day you might pick another 2 or 3 behaviors. Right now, I'm just trying to take a little play break in between so we're not doing too much too fast. Ralph seems like he's hungry though, and he is like, whatever about this toy, bring the food out. There you go. Now you got it, buddy. Good job. I don't want to give up on play too easy because I do think that it's important to have a nice balance between working with the food and then taking a little play break. Right? Good job. You did it. All right. Okay, we can move on. I'll show you the next few things. So now I'm going to show you a hand target. It's going to look very similar to following the food lure, but it's going to be different because I'm actually going to disconnect my hand from the puppy. And once he reconnects to my hand, so when he targets his nose to my flat palm, that's when I'm going to mark with the clicker and I'm going to let him have the treat. Okay, so it's going to look like this. I start him on the food lure. See how we're connected? But then I pull my hand away. Touch. Yeah, there we go. Good job, Ralph. Let's do that again. Start him on the food lure. Pull my hand away. Ralph, touch. Good job. Let's do that a couple more times. Notice how I'm going back and forth between my left hand and my right hand. Ralph, touch. Good job, buddy. I want to teach the puppy to be able to follow both hands. Ralph, touch. Really good job. Okay, and remember that's different from the food lure. The food lure is this. See how he's connected the whole time? Good boy, Ralph. All right. Now I'm going to teach Ralph what a release cue is. I'm going to say the word okay, and then I'm going to toss a little piece of food on the ground. And I want to teach him that when he hears the word okay, he's allowed to move and take that treat. Okay. So basically what a release cue is going to do is going to tell your dog that they're done doing whatever it is that you just asked them to do. Okay, but first, just like the clicker, we need to teach him what the word okay means. Okay. Good job, Ralph. Let's do one more. Okay. Great. So now you might be like, okay, you're just throwing cookies on the ground. That seems silly. But let me show you how we use that with a behavior. So let's work on some sits now. We're going to kind of put everything together. So watch what I do. I'm going to get Ralph connected to the food lure first. I'm going to show him that I have food. Then I'm going to lure him into the sit position. Sit. Mark that with the clicker. Let him have a cookie. Then I'm going to say, okay, and release him out of the position. Okay, so I'm teaching him right off the bat that when I ask you to sit, I want you to keep sitting until I use your release cue, which is okay. Sit. Good boy. Okay. Very nice. Good job, buddy. Let's do that one more time. Sit. Okay. Right there. Yeah, good man. So good. So again, we're laying foundations and we're teaching, introducing the puppy to concepts. We're not asking him for a 10-minute sit stay right now. He can't handle that. But what we are teaching him is how to find position and when he's allowed to leave position. All right. Now let's work on our mat. The mat is going to turn into a stay behavior. But again, we break this down into tiny little pieces that our puppy can handle. And for week 1, we want them to get 4 paws on the mat. We mark that with the clicker. I'm going to come down and I'm going to start to feed him one treat after another. And then use our release cue. Okay, to mean that he can come off. Right here, Stinky. He's like, let me go back on. Okay. Good boy. Let's do that again. Set our mat down. I want to see that the puppy seeks out the mat. That's our main goal in week 1, is that they seek out the mat and they stay on the mat because they want more cookies, right? Okay. I'd say that Ralph is doing that really well. Let's do that one more time. And you can notice how I put the mat down in a slightly different spot each time. There's 4 paws. Good boy. Wow, look at you. Okay. Because I don't want to leave the mat. You put cookies on here. Okay. Good job. So smart. All right, so we will add little steps to that behavior each week. For now, these puppies are doing great with step 1. See if he wants to take a little play break again. This flirt pull is my favorite for small puppies or small dogs. Sometimes I'll even use it for my big dog. You want to play? Where's your toy? Good job, buddy. Get it, get it, get it. You can find this flirt pull on Amazon. If you go to the products page on our website, there's a link right to the Amazon page. Where's your toy? Where is it? There you go. Alright, I do have a couple more things to show you. You gotta take a potty break? You can do that if you want. Okay, I'm just checking it out. Alright, I got a couple more things to show you. We're gonna work on some restraint next and some handling. And we're gonna get Ralph dressed in his harness. So I'm gonna grab some food, and for the handling and restraint, I'm gonna get down on the ground with the puppy. If it's not comfortable for you to get down on the ground, you can certainly pick the dog up and put them onto a surface like a table or a counter or something. Okay, so I'm gonna come down here. All right, buddy. I've got food in one hand, my other hand is empty. I'm gonna be using a verbal marker for these exercises because I just don't have enough hands to hold the clicker. So I'm gonna show him food. I'm gonna pet him from his head down his body, yes, and just make sure he's comfortable with that. So every time I say yes, that's when I'm giving him a cookie instead of clicking the clicker for this one, okay? Come here, bub. I'm gonna do that a couple of times, yes, just make sure he's okay with it. But now this time I'm gonna take my hand and I'm gonna bring it under his belly. I'm gonna stand him up, yes. I'm gonna hold him still, yes. So I'm teaching him a little restraint. And I don't know if you can see in the video, but like when I'm holding him still, with his back legs, he's kind of trying to step over my arm a little bit. Totally normal, he's just a little puppy. But we'll do that one more time. And we gotta teach him, yes, that sometimes I'm gonna hold you still, and I want you to be okay with that. Yes, good job, buddy. So again, we work on this every day. So we'll see how he's doing with it next week too. Now I'm gonna move on to handling specific body parts. So I'm gonna come up to an ear. Yes, gently massage his ear canal. Mark that and feed him. Yes, do that to the other ear. I wanna do this to paws. Yes. Okay, get him standing up because I wanna do it to a back paw. Yes, good boy. Other front paw. Yes. Good job, buddy. Spinning himself around, so I'm just bringing him back over here. Yes. And we're gonna do his tail. Yes. Okay, so, okay, I'm not pulling on his tail, I'm not pulling on his ears, I'm just gently handling all of those things so that he gets used to it, he gets comfortable with it. We're pairing it with a positive reinforcer like food. Yeah, good boy. Super important exercises. I practice these handling exercises just as often as I practice sits, downs, go to your mat, hand targets, all those other things, because your dog is going to require a lifetime of grooming and veterinary care, and it's your job to make sure that they are comfortable with that. Okay, so now let's move on to our harness. I'm going to show you how I like to get the puppies dressed in the harness, especially this kind. So this is the step-in style. There's a million different types of harnesses on the market, okay? I'm going to start just by getting his feet through. I find that picking up the dog and holding them is the easiest way to get them dressed in their harnesses initially. This way you're not chasing the puppy around and you're not, fighting them to get the harness on. Once I get their feet through, I do the Velcro strap, then I do the clip. Great, we've got the harness on. I'm gonna set him back down. Sometimes in the first week, the puppies act like the harnesses are a straitjacket and they can't move. This litter has been doing really good with their harnesses. They seem like they don't really mind them. Once you set them back down, then I just like to play with the dog, right? Just get them used to moving around normally in their harness, socializing them to their harness. And if your puppy isn't like crazy for the toy for whatever reason right now, he knows that I've got food. We can play with the food too. We can just toss some of those release cookies around, right? Ralph, okay. Good boy. There it is. Okay. Yeah, good job. Okay. Good boy. Ralph, okay. There it is. There it is. Good job, buddy. Okay, so this was everything for week 1. Ralph did really, really well. Again, remember to make sure to check out the video library, watch the week 1 videos. Okay. If you have any questions, please just shoot us an email. Ralph, okay. And we will see you next week for your week 2 recap.